Yeah, this is a frequently confused words question, which I normally categorize in the style part of the test. And so that means, well, we should be able to trust our instincts. But there are kind of also rules involved. And so it's a weird mix where, yeah, there's something you need to memorize. But because of your exposure to the language, you've kind of memorized it accidentally almost. And so I think the key piece here is just to focus on the thing that's maybe more memorized, that's more common. And that's going to be the difference between than and then. You need to know this. This is one of those things that could easily come up again on your own SAT, and it's just good to know for life. You will use these words a lot in your writing, and so you need to know the difference. The easiest way to put it is that than, T-H-A-N, is a word that we only really use when we're comparing things, okay? The word then has lots of meaning, so I'm just going to say it's everything else. Normally, we usually think about it in about time, right? First this happened, then this other thing happened afterwards. So it's a time word a lot, but it doesn't have to be. It has a lot more uses. And so a lot of these frequently confused words pairs come down to like something like this, where one of the words is a very specific meaning, and then the other is just like everything else. So than, T-H-A-N, is the one to memorize. It's only for comparisons. Do we have a comparison here? More like a fair than an actual cafe. They're comparing a fair to a cafe. So yes, this is a comparison. So we want T-H-A-N, so that gets rid of D and A. Right? That's the E-N, E-N. So now, obviously, we have to decide between these two versions of the word fair. This might be harder for you, but honestly, if you knew the then thing, you at least have you've doubled your odds of getting it right. That's progress. That's good. So, that means over the long haul, you'll get more questions right because you've increased your odds, even if you're guessing. The answer is B, and the reason is that this is the more common definition of fair. It's what we think of when something being like equitable, right? So fair is in like it's, my brother got ice cream, so it's only fair that I get ice cream too, right? That would be a good example of that. It's not being used that way here. Here we're talking about it more like a festival, I guess, or a market even. So it's kind of just like an open, like social thing that involves like shops and stuff. So yeah, a fair. If you're American, you probably know that word much better than if you're foreign. It's a word that we use a lot. There's fairs where there's like rides and games and food and all sorts of stuff. So that word is probably more useful to you. The word fair, F-A-R-E, that usually has to do with like food. It can also mean like a ticket, right? Like a ticket, like the fare that you pay to get on the bus or the train is a fare like that. So there's a little bit of kind of overlap I can see with the word food, but it's not close here. It has to be B. They're talking about it as if it's like a place where people go. So that would be a fare, like F-A-I-R. So there you go. Hopefully, if it comes up again, you remember that. But I'm telling you, the odds of it coming up again are really, really slim. That's why with these kind of styly, frequently confused words questions, there are a few rules you need to learn, but a lot of them are just like, do the best you can and move on. The odds of any particular rule coming up are really, really low, and so you're better off spending your time studying other things that are much more predictable.